Leaders start with the customer and work backwards. They work vigorously to earn and keep customer trust. Although leaders pay attention to competitors, they obsess over customers. Anderson Steve in the Bezos letters. Dear shareholders, guests, and friends, it is truly an honor to present the Chairman's statement for 2019 to this November forum. We appreciate our shareholders and supporters who have demonstrated their commitment to Roshgold with reverence, perseverance, and steadfastness. The leadership and governance that Roshgold exhibited over the years was core to our values of maintaining shareholders' trust, earning our returns, and striving to preserve and protect our shareholders' funds. How has this been achieved? It has been achieved by timely, prudent investments and management of our investment. Roshgold's core is characterized by its treatment of shareholders' interests and prioritizing the shareholder family. It is not a case of management versus shareholders, but rather as one united family. The corporate and political worlds are characterized by greedy management, self-serving interests at the expense of their stakeholders. And just to elaborate, we just read the news in the last year or longer. We had the fall of Steinhoff, we had EOH, and so many others that we count, and nothing's happened. And they've eroded the value of pension funds, and yet they roam freely. Carve your name on hearts and not tombstones. A legacy is etched into the minds of others and the stories they share about you. Shannon Elder. How true. Two of our stalwarts who have defined the Roshgold culture sadly passed on during the year. Their names are forever carved in our hearts, and their values and leadership contributed to the success and achievements of Roshgold. We will not forget the valuable lessons they inculcated us. Uncle Ebrahim Bhai Dedabai and Uncle Abbas Dadu were legends in community building. Our illustrious founding fathers made certain that they built a company that could contribute to stand the test of time. It is their vision, their integrity, their persistence for accountability, their tenacity, and their unwavering in his quest for shareholders to earn a return that was pure and free of interest. He was brave and fearless when challenged, as he was astute and righteous in what he did. And just to tell you people, Uncle Abbas, he was so brave, he'd stand up against anyone for what was right. He never stood up to defend himself, always to defend community and the truth. Uncle Bhai, an avid reader, was honest. He always gave the board honest and sound advice. We salute the unselfish, dedicated commitment and sacrifices made to establish the good name Roshgold bears today. We pray to the Almighty to keep them as they deserved, among His most beloved and in His shade of mercy. May their abode in the year after be the crowning for all the good they did with unselfish resolve. Leon Breitenbach, the national manager of the Rawson Property Group, asked, "What does the future hold?" And Breitenbach answers that change is the only certainty. The preceding decade, he says, has been dramatic, yet it is only the start of the technological revolution in which we find ourselves. Technology is bringing radical change at an ever-increasing pace. It is vital to embrace change, upgrade, and stay abreast of technology to promote innovation in our business, says Breitenbach. Inventive thinking, can only take place in an atmosphere conducive to innovation, and this should be encouraged at all costs. This, ladies and gentlemen, epitomizes Roshgold's commitment to change in the future. Roshgold continues to grow its shareholder base and has managed satisfactory results in the face of a stifling and uncertain economic and political scenario. The economy is tough and investment performance is challenging. Yes, the ANC was returned to a majority government once again. However, the political demographics and sentiments are fast changing. There is a deep division resulting in country interests being sacrificed by infighting. The lack of service delivery and drain of state-owned enterprises is having a negative effect on the economy and the confidence of the electorate. The future of the ruling party could dramatically change by the next general or local elections. At the time of writing this, we weren't, we didn't know what was to come, and today the DA is in shambles, the EFF are hiding, so a lot is changing as we proceed. These conditions, coupled with high levels of employment, especially amongst the youth, a decline in rand, migration of professional and business people, high inflation, and shortage of funding will continue to impact on the economy. These factors adversely affect financial, retail, manufacturing, and housing. The ripple effect of the contracting economy is a pressure for lower rentals and yields, which are seriously eroding returns. Those earning returns in other classes of investment are also affected. We should not fool ourselves. This is real. Conditions in the global economy are fragile, and investing offshore is also challenging. The currency depreciation is real, and the currency depreciation is the real reason for growth in investments overseas. As an example, I refer you to the performance of Rosh Metals and Minerals. 2 years ago, this portfolio's performance was impacted negatively as commodity prices crashed. Those contrarian investors that spread their risk and invested have benefited from the recoveries in the commodity prices and the depreciation of the rand exchange rate. The price of a Rosh Metals unit has appreciated approximately 73% since March 2017. The group will continue to act in the interests of shareholders and our policy of prudence. This policy has made sure that our capital base has been insulated. Roshgold has withstood these challenges. Many other investment companies with gearing and high-risk investments have been adversely affected by diminishing capital valuations. Shareholders, we thank you for your patience and assure you that there are exciting developments which will yield returns that are above the market average. We are in for the long haul. Investment in Al-Qadi Hospital continues to show promise, and the hospital has recently received recognition and awards for their service. The occupancies have been increased, and the hospital has been granted a license for a cath lab. The board of directors have implemented a plan to get the hospital to start paying dividends. We're fortunate enough to have very astute people on the Al-Qadi board, one being our CEO, Mr. Harun Pochi, and the other being Mr. Shabir Chauhan. The property and business portfolio is sound. Roshgold has consulted and engaged property consultants to review and revitalize properties in order to attract better tenants and rentals. Sustainability of the portfolio is essential. Just on that, in one of our properties, we had Edgar's as a tenant, they didn't exercise their option. We managed to get footgear in and the rental has increased by 30%. So some positive has come out of it already. The board is not averse to disposing investments that don't have a further growth potential. The Roshgold board is continuing in its quest of developing the next generation of leadership. Yes, we allude to this quite often. Now, we have encouraged younger members and teams in negotiating and formalizing a proposed investment into a new class of investment. And these young gentlemen have done quite a good task of engagement and negotiation, and we're very close to securing the deal. The investment has potential for growth and widening our basket of risk diversification. The forecasted returns will enhance Roshgold's returns to shareholders, and a task team has been appointed with the legal team who are working towards finalizing the deal. I skipped the part. It's in the franchise business. There's probably about 11 franchise operations that we're purchasing. The YBAA program has created a new vibe of enthusiasm amongst young entrepreneurs. The excitement and continued growth of this competition is heartening. Since inception in 2017, over 250 young businesses have been supported, showcased, and mentored. There is a true awakening of a passion for business amongst the younger generation. Trading is returning to our blood in a new way, with many innovative businesses operating in diverse sectors of the economy. One of our finalists from last year, Cape Crops, was actually also one of the awardees at the Minara Chamber. It is Roshgold's aim to attract and grow a new generation of investors. Roshgold is embracing this change and will make the necessary investment in people, our infrastructure, and develop our human capital to manage and maintain our initiatives. As has been done over 35 years, spread the word, call to action, and let us bring home a future generation of investors and leaders who will continue to the work started by our esteemed founders. It is time to carve Roshgold into the hearts of a new generation. And speaking of the Generation X, these days I think the younger generation are very hasty to invest. And if you look on the net and if you look around you today, there's so many different ways of investing. Last week, if you watched Carte Blanche, there was the app that where you can invest in livestock, online. And one of the investments is where you invest in a cow or beef, but they slaughter and sell off. So that is not permissible for the Muslim investor. And there's another app where you can invest in a bee farm or in a blueberry farm. But if you read carefully, after 8 or 10 years of earning returns, there's no capital paid back to you. So you need to be careful, and that is why Roshgold is still your home for investing. The Roshgold management team, we thank you for your continuous support and your willingness to develop innovation to meet the needs of the company. We appreciate your teamwork and selfless commitment to drive Roshgold towards success. Abdul Aziz Kayak, a sub-editor at the Gulf Construction magazine, says, "Greatness to me is a man's attitude in the face of everything, a smile in the face of adversity, composure in times of extreme joy, presence and peace of mind when under pressure, a strong shoulder in the times of, or to others in the times of need. It is thankfulness to the Almighty under every circumstance." The past year has been eventful for Roshgold, and together we have endured many challenges. We ask the Almighty to guide us through these challenges for now and the future. It is only a team of synchronized intentions, selfless commitment, and a team that is not afraid to be frank and honest that makes a ship sail towards its destination in the most deadly and stormy waters. My fellow directors, I thank you. My esteemed and wise fellow board members, thank you will never suffice for the effort and guidance you offer. You are indelibly imprinted as the reasons for Roshgold's successes. Shareholders, undoubtedly this milestone of 35 years is the commitment and unwavering support that has been afforded to the group. The past and future successes of Roshgold are yours to enjoy and build. Your continued belief, engagement, and commitment is required to protect our future. Jazakallah.